BBC presenter Jay Blades has been charged with engaging in controlling and coercive behaviour against his estranged wife.
It all starts with a simple piece of furniture or a tarnished family heirloom. Nothing extraordinary at first glance, but to the person bringing it in, it's everything. That's the magic of the repair shop. It's a show that takes us on a journey, not just of restoration, but of memories. And at the center of it all is Jay Blades, a man who doesn't just fix broken things, he restores hope. But Jay wasn't always the beloved figure we know today. He wasn't born into fame or luxury, but into a world full of challenges. Growing up in a working-class neighborhood in London, Jay's life was shaped by adversity. Yet, from these struggles, he discovered a passion for woodwork and restoration, a passion that would define his future. He trained as a furniture restorer, learning the delicate art of bringing life back to pieces that others might have thrown away. When The Repair Shop first aired in 2017, it was just another show about skilled craftspeople working their magic. But it wasn't long before Jay's presence on screen changed everything. His calm demeanor, his ability to listen, to truly connect with people, made all the difference. It wasn't just about restoring antiques, it was about restoring memories. Jay didn't just fix objects, he mended hearts. Over time, Jay became more than just the host of The Repair Shop. He became a familiar, comforting figure in millions of homes. His warmth was like a balm for troubled spirits, reminding us that no matter how broken we feel, there's always a chance to heal. In 2021, his work was recognized when he was awarded an MBE, a prestigious honor that marked his transformation from a TV host to a public figure, a symbol of resilience and hope. To many, Jay became an inspiration, a role model who had overcome his own struggles to build something meaningful, but not everything was as perfect behind the scenes as it seemed on screen. As fans watched DJ's life unfold before their eyes, few knew the challenges he was facing in private. In late 2024, Jay suddenly stepped away from The Repair Shop. Fans were told it was a time for mourning after the death of his uncle, and they supported him, hoping that it was just a brief moment of personal reflection. But as time passed, Jay's absence began to raise more questions. Where was he? Why was he gone? And more importantly, what was really going on in his life? The man who had once been the face of restoration and healing seemed distant, almost unreachable. The cheerful, warm personality that fans had grown to. Love was suddenly overshadowed by a sense of uncertainty. As The Repair Shop continued without him, the public began to question. Was there more to the story than they knew? Jay Blades' journey from humble beginnings to TV fame was nothing short of extraordinary. But, like any story, it was filled with complexities. Behind the scenes, Jay's life was unraveling in ways no one could have anticipated. His public image, so carefully crafted over the years, was now being tested in ways that would change the narrative of his life forever. The Repair Shop wasn't just a show about fixing things. It was a story about connections, about restoring what's been lost, both in objects and in life. It's about understanding that no matter how much time passes, memories can still be revived and brokenness can still be healed. But now, the show's central figure, Jay, was caught in a journey to rebuild, not just the things around him, but the life he had so carefully built in the public eye. And as his personal story unfolded, viewers realized that the true restoration was not just about what could be fixed, but about what could be mended within ourselves. The show may have started as a simple restoration of objects, but for Jay Blades, it became something much deeper. It was about healing, not just the items, but the hearts of those who brought them in and his own. Jay's story, filled with highs and lows, is a reminder that no one's life is as simple as it appears. Behind the smile, the calm demeanor, and the on-screen warmth, there's a person facing the same struggles, the same challenges, and the same need for healing as anyone else. And maybe, just maybe, that's what makes him so relatable to millions of people who look up to him not because he's perfect, but because he's real. When Jay Blades first appeared on The Repair Shop, it felt like stepping into a world where lost things were brought back to life, not just objects, but memories. He wasn't just the host, he was a part of the healing. Unlike other presenters who simply step aside, Jay worked side by side with the craftsmen, using his genuine expertise
Before
to
becoming
breathe
the
life
warm and
into broken
engaging
items.
host of the BBC's
But what made
The
him
Repair
truly
Shop,
unforgettable
Jay's
wasn't
story
just his
was one
skillet,
of overcoming
was his
adversity
warmth.
and
When
reinventing himself.
people brought in
Combined
heirlooms,
with a natural
broken
charisma,
but filled
soon
with
set him
stories,
apart from
Jay
others in the
didn't just
craft.
restore them. He created
When
a
the Repair
space where
Shop
people
launched in
felt safe,
2017,
heard,
it was a
and
modest
understood.
daytime show
Every
about
laugh,
artisans
every
breathing
heartfelt
new life
moment
into
was
cherished
shared with the
heirlooms.
viewers as if
What
they
made
were a
it
part of
special,
the
however,
experience.
was Jay.
As the Repair
Jay
Shop
wasn't
grew,
just fixing
so did
antiques.
Jay, the
He was
BBC,
restoring memories,
recognizing the
and
emotional
often
pull
a
of the
sense of
show,
hope.
moved it to prime
program
time, a rare
quickly grew
feat
in
for a show
popularity.
focused on restoration.
Viewers were drawn
the
to the
UK,
combination of
beyond
skilled
tuned
craftsmanship
to find solace
and the emotional
in Jay's
stories
calming
tied to
presence.
each object, or
A
a
small
grandmother's
oasis
jewelry
of
box.
positivity
The show
in
celebrated
an often
the power
chaotic
of
world.
preservation. These
But what made it
contributions were
truly
officially
special was
recognized
the
when he
team
was
around
awarded
Jay.
an MBE for
From
his
clockmakers
services,
to
symbolizing not
upholsterers,
only his skill,
each
but the
craftsperson
broader
brought
impact
their
he
own
had made.
unique touch. And
Many
together,
saw Jay as a
they
role
turned the
model,
Repair Shop
someone
into
who had
something
taken a
extraordinary,
difficult past
a sanctuary
and turned it into
where
a
broken
source of
things weren't
inspiration
just
for
fixed,
others.
they were cherished.
Despite this rise,
For years,
life
Jay's
behind the
steady
camera
presence was
wasn't
the
always
anchor
as smooth.
that held the show together. Through ups and downs, his smile never wavered. But then, slowly, fans started to notice the absence. At first, it was just a few episodes where Jay was missing. No big deal, perhaps scheduling conflicts or a personal commitment. But as time went on, his absence became harder to ignore. And when the new series aired, Jay was nowhere to be seen. It was a quiet change, but it felt jarring. The show that had been built around Jay's genuine connection with people suddenly felt incomplete. The whispers began. What was going on? Was he sick? Was he okay? As weeks passed with no answers, fans turned to social media, searching for clues, but Jay had gone silent. The man who had made millions feel seen and understood was now distant and unreachable. And then, as the mystery deepened, something even more troubling began to surface. Behind the closed doors of Jay's private life, things were falling apart. What had started as a break to mourn the death of his uncle had now turned into something else entirely. In 2024, Jay's personal life unraveled in the public eye. His marriage to Lisa Bzen, once a private matter, became headline news. It was Lisa who made the first public statement, revealing she had walked away from the marriage. That was just the beginning. The revelations were shocking, not just the end of their relationship, but the allegations that followed. Lisa spoke out about her experiences, accusing Jay of controlling and coercive behavior. The charges were serious,
but very
alleging
few knew
that
what was
Jay's
happening
actions had
beyond the
made her
studio
fearful
wall.
for her safety
By late
on
2024,
more than one occasion.
whispers began
For a man
circulating
who had
about
been the
changes in
embodiment
the
of
Repair
hope
Shop.
and
Fans
healing,
offered support,
the contrast
believing it
was
was a
stark.
personal time of mourning.
How
How
could the
long
warm,
would this break
trustworthy
last?
face of the
What was
Repair
really
Shop
going
be the
on?
same person facing such
The man who
serious
had become a
allegations?
symbol of restoration
Fans
and
who had
healing
once
now
admired
seemed
him
distant
were
and
now left
unreachable.
questioning everything.
As his
Was
physical
the man they
presence
had
on
come to
screen
know
faded,
a different person
so
than
did
the
the
one
simple
now standing
certainty
in a
fans
courtroom,
had about the
pleading
man they
not
thought
guilty?
they knew.
As the trial
Behind
looms
the
and Jay
scenes,
prepares to face his
the
day
story
in court,
of Jay Blades
the
was
future
no
of his
longer
career
just about
and his legacy
craftsmanship and
hang in the
television
balance.
success.
The
It was about
Repair Shop
complexities,
continues,
challenges,
the show feels
and the
different now.
unraveling of a
Without
private
Jay,
life in the
the
public
warmth,
eye.
the heart, and the
The
connection
public
that made
image
it
of
so
Jay
special
Blades,
are harder
beloved
to
TV
find.
host and
The
craftsman,
BBC,
was about to be
responding
tested
to the
in
growing
ways
controversy,
no one saw. The Repair
quickly
Shop
pulled
isn't just a
episodes
TV
featuring
show.
Jay.
For many, it is a
From the
comforting
airwaves,
ritual.
the questions,
It is the kind
the
of program
uncertainty,
that brings
the
a sense of
silence,
calm,
everything about Jay's
a reminder
disappearance
that things can be
now
fixed
feels
and
more
memories
complex than
preserved.
anyone could have imagined.
Central
And
to
as
its
the drama
success
unfolds,
is Jay Blades,
it's not just Jay's
whose
life that
presence
is in the
feels like that
spotlight.
of a
It's
trusted friend
the way
guiding
we,
viewers
as
through each episode.
viewers, process the,
The premise
things
of
we
the
thought
Repair
we
Shop
knew.
is simple but
We
powerful.
watch, we hope,
Members
we
of the
wait for
public
answers.
bring in family
But
heirlooms,
as Lisa's own
items with
voice
deep
joins
sentimental
the
value
narrative,
that have suffered wear,
the story takes a
damage,
turn
handed
no
over
one
to a
saw
team
coming.
of skilled
The quiet
craftspeople
we thought
dedicated to
was the
restoring
result of
them.
grief.
But the
It was
show's
the
heart
beginning
goes
of a
far
much
beyond the
deeper
physical.
unraveling.
When an
a journey
elderly
into
woman
a
brings
truth
in a
no
necklace
one
from her late
expected.
mother, or
The
a
man
man
who
submits
once
a
restored
battered toy
broken
from his childhood,
objects is
it's
now
not just
facing
the
the
item that gets
consequences of his
restored.
own
A
brokenness.
connection to the past
And as the
is a
case
traditional
continues,
presenter who stays
we are
on the
left
sidelines.
wondering, can
Jay
the
worked
same
alongside the
person who
craftspeople.
fixed the past
His
ever
knowledge of
truly fix
restoration
himself?
was, he listened,
The man who
he
once held an
joked, and he
MBE,
shared in the
who had won the
emotional
trust
moments,
and affection of
making
millions,
the show feel personal
suddenly
rather
found
than
himself
scripted.
under a harsh
But
spotlight.
the charm of the Repair
The
Shop
beloved
was not
face of
just
the Repair
Jay's
Shop,
warmth.
Jay Blades,
It was the
was
entire
now
team,
a man whose
a group of
character was
master
being questioned.
craftspeople,
It all
each with a
started when
specialized
Lisa's
skill,
public
from
announcement
clockmaking
hit social
to
media
upholstery.
like a storm. She
Together,
revealed she had walked
they
away
created
from their
something
marriage.
more than the sum of
Though
their
she
part,
didn't
a
immediately
place
delve
where
into the
broken things were
allegations,
mended with
the
care
split
and
alone
respect.
confirmed that the cracks in their
For years,
relationship
the
were
formula
more than
worked
just rumors.
flawlessly.
They were real real
Viewers
and
felt a
deeply
sense of
troubling.
continuity.
behind
A
the scenes,
predictable yet
the world
heartwarming
wondered
experience
what the
every
truth
week.
was.
But then came
The
the
small
subtle
details
changes.
that had trickled out painted a
Fans
complex
noticed
picture.
that Jay wasn't
There
in
was
every
still
new
so
episode.
much that remained hidden.
At first, it was just a few
Fans who had
absences
once
here
felt
and
like
there,
they knew Jay
easily
and trusted
explained
him,
by scheduling
found
or
themselves
personal commitments aired with
conflicted,
the rest of the
caught between the
craftspeople.
positive
But
memories
Jay
of the
was
show
nowhere to be seen.
and the
There's something
harsh
more
realities
serious
that were
behind
now
the scenes.
associated with its star.
Social media
The
buzzed
media,
with speculation,
always eager to cover
but
the
no
story,
clear answers
walked a
emerged.
tightrope
An
between
unusual
respecting the
step
legal
for a
process
show so
and
closely
keeping the
tied to
public
its host.
informed, and
For a
so
program
the
built
story
around Jay's
continued to
personality,
unfold, dividing
moving forward
public
without
opinion.
him raised questions
Some
about the
stood by
future.
Jay, holding on to the man
Viewers who
they
had
had
once
seen on
seen
television,
Jay as the
while
embodiment
others,
of restoration and
betrayed
healing,
by the allegations,
now felt a growth.
struggled to
The contrast was
reconcile the
striking.
two versions of him.
Behind the scenes,
just when it seemed
sources hinted
like
at
the
troubles
drama
that
had
went
reached its
beyond the
peak.
camera lens,
Lisa broke
but
her
official
silence.
statements were scarce.
It wasn't
added to
what
the
anyone
intrigue
had
and
expected.
concern.
Through a
Despite
series
the
of
rumors and
powerful yet
uncertainty,
cryptic social
the repair
media
shop
posts,
remained a
she
beloved
revealed
fixture.
more than just a
Its
glimpse
message of
into
care,
her emotional
restoration,
turmoil.
and connection still resonated.
I am done hiding.
Even as
I
its
want
star
my side
faded
to be
from
heard,
view.
she wrote, her voice
Fans waited
steady but
anxiously
heavy
for
with
answers,
exhaustion.
hoping for
It was
clarity.
clear now that she had been living in
quiet that
survival
surrounded
mode
Jay's
for over a
disappearance
year,
wasn't just
silently
about rest
bearing the
or
weight
recovery.
of something much darker.
Something far more serious
What followed
was
next
unfolding
was
behind
as
the
subtle
scenes,
as it was powerful.
and it would soon break
Lisa
into the
shared a
public
series
eye.
of posts
Jay
on World
Blades
Mental
announced
Health
he
Day,
was stepping back
offering
from social
words
media.
of quiet
It
strength
seemed like a
to
private
those
moment
struggling.
of grief.
One
Fans
post,
quickly learned
crafted
that
like
Jay
a
was
poem,
mourning the loss
began,
of his uncle.
I know
a
you're
tragic
sad,
event he
so I won't
openly
tell you to
shared
have a
with
good
his
day.
followers.
Instead,
Many
I
responded
advise
with
you to
support and
simply have a day.
understanding,
Her
believing
tone
that
wasn't
Jay's break was
confrontational or
simply a
bitter.
necessary
It was
pause to heal.
empathetic. She
But as
spoke
the
of
weeks
inner strength,
passed, the nature
resilience,
viewers tuned
and the
into new
importance of
episodes
pushing
of
through the
Repair
darkness
Shop
haven
and
when
noticed
life
something
felt
strange.
hopeless.
Jay
While
was
she
missing.
didn't address the
The host,
allegations
who had been
directly.
the face of
It
the
was
show
clear
for
that her
nearly 7
posts were
years
speaking to
wasn't
something
appearing.
deeper. Fans,
For a show
both
so closely
supportive
tied
and
to his
concerned,
presence, it
reacted
was
to these
unusual
messages.
and concerning.
Some saw them as signs that
Filming
Lisa was
continued
finding her
without
way
Jay,
through the pain,
which added
moving
to the
forward
uncertainty.
despite everything.
Normally,
Others read them
shows
as a quiet
that the production
protest,
moved forward,
a way for Lisa to
featuring the
speak her truth
craftspeople,
without
but not
pointing
their
fingers
usual
or diving
charismatic
into the
leader.
messy details.
For
Her
fans,
words didn't
the change
expose
was
her
unsettling.
ex-husband's faults. Instead,
Jay's
they
silence
highlighted
only
the personal
deepened the
battles,
mystery.
the silent
He
struggles
made no
that
public
often go
statements to explain
unseen.
his absence beyond
In a world
the
where
initial
everything is
grew,
framed as black and
ranging
white,
from health concerns
Lisa's
to
posts
personal
painted
issues.
a more complex picture.
Some wondered if Jay
When
was ill.
Jay made his
Others
brief court
worried there
appearance
might be
that same
trouble
day.
behind the
He
scenes.
denied the allegations once again.
Meanwhile, behind
His
closed
stance
doors,
remained firm,
the story
but the
was
public's
far
perception
more
had
complicated.
already
Though
shifted.
this remained private
The legal
to
battles
public.
would
In May,
continue,
the
but
situation
Lisa's
came
silence
to light
had broken,
when Lisa
and with
posted on
it,
Instagram,
the narrative had
announcing
evolved.
that she had walked away
She
from
didn't
their
point the
marriage.
finger. She simply
The message
shared
was
her
brief but
experience.
clear.
And in doing
Their
so,
relationship
she
was
invited
over.
the world to see
This
things
public
differently,
acknowledgement
not
caught many
as a matter
off
of
guard,
guilt
especially
or
given
innocence,
Jay's previously
but as a
positive
deeply
image.
human
In
story
response
of
to
pain,
the developments,
healing, and
episodes
resilience.
of the repair,
As the
it was
story
no longer just a personal
unfolds,
matter.
the
It had
reactions
become
have
a
been
public
mixed.
concern.
Some still
These
stand by
charges
Jay,
allege that his
remembering the
actions had
positive
caused
impact
Lisa
he
to
had
fear
on television
violence on more
and the
than one
craft world.
occasion during their relationship.
Others feel a deep
Jay
empathy for
pleaded
Lisa,
not guilty,
recognizing
but
the
case
quiet
cast a
strength in
shadow
her
over
words.
his career and
The
reputation.
conversations on social media have
Contrast
shifted
between
from
the
courtroom
warm,
drama
trustworthy
to
figure
discussions
on
about
television
mental
who
health.
once inspired hope
The
through
complexities of
restoration
relationships
was now facing
and the
legal
importance
battles
of
and public
resilience.
scrutiny.
The
As Jay
media,
awaited
too,
his
has
future
maintained a
remained
cautious
uncertain.
tone,
The
emphasizing the
BBC
need
had yet to
to
confirm
avoid
whether
rushing
he
to
would return
judgment.
to the repair shop.
Inside the repair
and
shop
Jay
team,
himself
the
stayed
work
largely
continues.
out of the public eye.
The show, though
The show
altered by
continued
Jay's
without
absence,
him,
still
but many
carries its
viewers
heart
missed
the
familiar
restoration
face
of broken
and comforting
things.
presence.
But the emotional
The quiet that
absence
had
of its
started
most
with a
beloved
break to
figure
grieve
is
had
palpable.
turned into a silence
Fans have
filled with
expressed
questions and
appreciation for the
concerns
ongoing
on
work,
nature of
but have
public
also
life.
made it clear they miss Jay
What
his
many
absence.
didn't expect, however,
Like the repairs
was
on
that
the
the
show,
next chapter in
leaves a
this story,
space that
late
can't easily
2024,
be filled.
the quiet
Beyond
that
the
had
court
surrounded
case,
Jay
this
Blades'
story has
disappearance
opened up
from the
a
repair
broader
shop
conversation
turned
about
into a
public
loud,
figures, the
unavoidable
complexities of their
controversy,
private
face
lives,
of the beloved
and the often
restoration show.
overlooked importance of
The
mental
allegations
health.
were detailed
It serves
and
as a
grave,
reminder that behind the
claiming that
fame and the
Jay's
smiles,
behavior during
there
their
are real
relationship
people
caused
facing
Lisa to
struggles
fear
trying
violence
to
on
heal.
at least 2 occasions.
So,
occasions.
what now?
The nature of
Should
these
Jay return
accusations
to the
sent
show
shockwaves
despite
through
the
fans,
controversies
colleagues,
surrounding
and the
him,
media.
or has his
The
time
timeline
passed?
of events made the
Let us
situation
know your
all
thoughts
the
in the
more
comments.
intense.